Dear future Jaden. Dear future Jaden. Dear future Jaden. Today has been an okay day. Today has been very rainy. How is quarantine going for you?
Horrible. Boring.
It's definitely hard. I mean, I like all the time I get to work on hobbies, but it's hard because it's really hard to communicate with people over school.
Quarantine is going really good for me. It is very different, especially the classes.
Not too good, not too bad, because it's going to give us more time to spend together.
Me.
Caitlin puts herself.
Quarantine has become almost like the new norm. It's been 2 months now, so I think at first it was just trying to get a feel for the new way, which was being inside the house, working, and the kids going to school. But it's been great. I think we've adapted, and we've got our own little structure. And so overall, I think that and the lightness of the change in schedule, not running all over the place. So I think that has been really good too.
Today I am joined by the birds, as you can hear. It seems like that's the most company that I can have at the moment outside my household. Today has been good. There are a lot of days where I'm unmotivated. I do nothing except for get out of my bed, maybe make my bed. I've been putting together some college lists of what I'm going to need in the future, and even with all of those plans being so uncertain, what gives me a sense of hope is still treating it like it's normal. I am going to be honest, the videos I have filmed are on days where it's easier to film, and I definitely have days where I just do not want to be talking in front of the camera because life seems super hard. I want to talk about those days because I've been feeling a lot of them, and that's like 90% of my time during Corona is struggling. And I think it's totally fine, and it's okay to admit that, because I feel like everyone is feeling like that, and it's okay to be struggling and having a hard time. So what I was saying earlier was reaching out to friends or family when you're feeling down, or if you need to talk, or even if you just need someone to sit and be with you. I'm so lucky and fortunate to know that I have people that will do that for me, and that I'll do that for them. The last few days have definitely been harder for me. I have been struggling because I've been missing the normal. Graduation's not too far away, and as we all prepare for that, I just can't help but think of what it would be like if things were normal, who would be there, you know, seeing all this family and friends and people I haven't seen in so long come together and celebrate something that I've been looking forward to for like 12 years. I've also been struggling not seeing my friends, people that make me happy and make me whole. You know, I just kind of miss seeing them, or if I do see them, not being able to act like things are normal, kind of stay at a distance. It's really hard, and I know everyone is struggling in some way with that. In a world where we're all facing very similar things right now, yet very different, we're all feeling very alone or confused, and I know some people are thriving during this time and finding peace in it, but I know a majority of people are really struggling and not knowing what their purpose is anymore. And I think that I have run into some situations where I'm so lost, and it doesn't seem like I have much to look forward to, at least this year. With college being in question and not knowing if I'm going to go back in the fall or go. Like, I haven't even been to college yet to even go is still in the question, and that's really sad and terrifying to think about.
So, one of my all-time favorite things to do has been running to the sunset almost every night. I find a lot of peace from it. After good days, bad days, confusing days, it's a constant source of calm for me right now during this time. But today I had to work on my graduation speech, so I'm doing that, but I'm watching the sunset. And I'm very happy that I'm able to do both, be productive, because I kind of have to be right now, and also be doing something that brings me joy right now. So
I came up with this little saying that I've been telling myself a lot this quarantine, that I need to hold on for the life that will live soon. And I found myself telling some people that, and I really like the way it kind of sounds, because right at some point we all feel like we're just holding on. Like we just have to hold on to what we have left, even if there's no hope. We just gotta hold on and get past this hard time. With all the cancellations of some of my favorite things, or the things I've been looking forward to for almost a year, that are being canceled in the summer or even the fall, I think it's really important for me to remember that it's gonna get better. Even if it doesn't get better right away, it will get better at some point. And I definitely find myself having a hard time believing that, or wanting to hear that from people, or it's harder for me to even confide in other people because I feel like everything I'm saying or feeling can't be fixed or even listened to at some point, because no one knows how to help. And in some way that's comforting to think that we're all feeling something really similarly, don't know how to fix it, so we're going through it together. A lot of people feel alone right now, whether they're alone at home or they're alone away from their friends, or they feel alone even in a big crowded house, because I feel like that sometimes. I live with a family of 8 people and I find myself feeling alone a lot during this time. And I feel that we're all kind of alone together, which puts 2 words that are completely opposite in one sentence, but it's true, because we're all feeling kind of alone, but since it's together, it makes things more worth it, and it makes things bearable, or even just the fact that we can hold on. Nothing's normal right now, so no one is expected to feel or take this a certain way. I've definitely been taking some things I've lost as like a grieving process, and feeling like I lost someone, like the feeling that you lost someone, like that heavy feeling in my life. And it's really hard for everyone to verbalize how they're feeling or what they're going through, because they don't know. You have to like think outside the box and think of different ways to love people or express your love to them. And then in a few hours I'll FaceTime my best friend. So that's all for today. This past weekend we went to go see my grandparents on my mom's side just for a little bit, really quick trip, and we didn't see anyone else, but we just saw them. It was so good to have a sense of something feeling normal. They live right on Lake Michigan, so we got to be at the beach for a little bit. I saw some beautiful sunsets, and it was a little cold, so we couldn't like enjoy the beach, like swimming and everything, but it was super nice, and I'm super grateful to have that little trip and resource to feel like life is okay in the times where it definitely does not. Oh my gosh, it's raining. We're just listening to the rain, and it's so calming, and it gives me a second to kind of relax, take things in. I think another thing for me during this quarantine is understanding when I need to reach out for help, or reach out to my friends that I haven't seen in a while or I haven't talked to in a while, just to remember that we're all kind of in it together, even though we have to be far apart. One of the biggest things I've been getting into is writing letters to family members across the state or across the country, and I really enjoyed just like doing that. I think it's different. It shows a different sort of love and appreciation, and it's something to get my mind off of the heavy things that we're all going through or feeling or thinking about on a daily basis. For the longest time, my grandma always wrote letters to her grandchildren, and she still does, and I would always be like so busy not to reply, or I just thought that writing letters was like so much more work, even though I've always loved receiving them and giving them, but it just seems like a lot more work than just like a simple text, because this generation is really easy to send someone a text or call them real quick. That letters and even in-person Sage. And in-person experiences and hangouts and going to a coffee shop with some of your favorite people, all of that's gonna be so much more special and it's gonna feel so different, and I cannot wait to feel all of that and to go through that. I also think it's really interesting the spectrum that people are on during quarantine, how strict they are with social distancing, or if they're even putting any social distance in their life. I feel that as time goes on, people are loosening their standards in a way. Maybe the people that would just stay in their house completely and not see anyone else even at a distance are slowly starting to open that up and seeing people, and are now seeing people at a distance. We know my family has been very cautious and safe during this whole time, but we aren't on the super duper strict where I'm not seeing anyone at all. Like, I have only seen like a few friends like once or twice, so very, very minimal. I feel like everyone is worrying so much about physical health, which is very important right now, staying healthy, you know, staying away from spreading the virus, but I also think it's really important to check in. Everyone's mental health is just as important as their physical health, and that goes into your physical health as well. I think the biggest thing is just taking it day by day right now for me. It's just, even if I have a bad day, if I have a good day, or some day that feels somewhat normal, I just take it and I don't try and count how many days are good, how many days are bad, and then put my whole experience around that number. I'm trying to just live through each day. Nothing feels real. This whole thing kind of feels like a dream. How is it possible that everything is happening like this? Dang, I'm getting kind of philosophical right now. I think advice for future Jaden, or anyone, when things get really hard or unbearable, or you feel like everything is kind of going wrong, to breathe, to know it's okay to lean on others. Right now, we're going through a pandemic, and I don't think it's fair to say everyone has to go through this alone. As alone as we feel, we're not going through it alone. But also, it's okay if you're experiencing every single emotion in one day, because at this point, you're feeling something. Future Jaden, whenever you're watching this, or whoever's watching this, my advice right now is don't take the small moments for granted, because those are the moments you're gonna miss the most.